Cowabunga.
Hi, Mickey. Hi, everyone. It it is the day after Christmas full moon. So we are here to guide you through thoughts that we're having about what this moon means to us, to you, to everybody. What say you, Mickey?
I say, hey, it's going to be a party. It's going to be a party.
Woohoo! Yeah, it's
Oh, we love
between
a parade.
between Christmas and New Year's. So yes, it's party time, and make
This
sure
is the
you
good
put
stuff.
put your crystals out in that moon energy to
Yeah.
cleanse them. You know, we always say that every month. I know we're getting boring, but do that.
It's interesting because I have never used that method.
That's only one method, but it's an easy one.
No, I mean that one of putting them in the moonlight. I've
Hmm.
never done that.
Oh, okay.
Done it with water, said the Scorpio.
Well, and water is one. The other one is to bury them, put them in dirt.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
heard
so
that too.
and water is an easy one. Yeah, sound is another one. You can use your singing bowls. You can use your little
I've done that.
chimes. That will also cleanse them. So there are many, many ways to do it.
I used a tuning fork the
Hmm.
last time I used sound, and it was an amazing experience because it really excites the piezoelectric energy in the crystal from, say, piezoelectric, but whatever.
Especially if you're using quartz. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, so many of the different stones, quote unquote, are quartz with just some other metal added, and that's what gives them color.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there's no difference between an amethyst and a quartz crystal clear,
Hmm.
except that one had some, I forget what the metal is, but there was some other stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the amethyst one,
Forgotten.
what makes it, but yeah.
But that's true of so many. Topaz,
Right, right. So, and
amethyst.
that's why they say clear quartz or what is that other quartz? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think of it.
What?
Herkimer,
Citrine?
Herkimer diamonds.
Oh, Herkimer.
Herkimer,
Oh,
right? So
that's
it's
powerful.
just clear quartz, but the reason Herkimers are so powerful is because they're double terminated naturally. So if you have a Herkimer quartz that is not double terminated, it's really not a Herkimer quartz because
It's
they
a
grow
very
they
powerful
grow
stone.
from the flat side and then they have points going out on both directions. And they are extremely powerful, but you know,
Yes, they are.
your watches, your computers, all run on clear quartz. Like they don't use amethyst for that. They don't use
No,
citrine.
no.
They use clear quartz because it continually goes on. It has that piezoelectric motivation.
It is absolutely flawless in its dependable interval. The
Absolutely.
beat between the vibrations that are thumping,
Hmm.
beating, those vibrations hit the same peak at the same interval every time, no matter what. And
Yeah.
it's been calibrated to, they've taken a look at it and realized
Hmm.
it never changes. That's why they use it for computers and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
It powers things in a dependable way.
Right. And people, well, I certainly learned that, no matter what you want to bring into your life, clear quartz always a-
Yeah,
amplifies whatever it is.
it
So
does.
if you think, "Oh, I have to have a tourmaline or I have to have an amethyst," a clear quartz is always going to be the right one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
love it.
I'm addicted to them. Yes, I am.
I love my crystals.
And I'm not going to say that they're making you want them, but there's something about, well, the way I look at it, they have done so much to clear and clean whatever the waveform is around you, and your space, your vibration, that thing you see with all the little ups and downs when you're talking about a vibration. um it gets so attuned in their presence that you start to get used to being in a space where things are in attunement.
Yes.
And I know that once I got into the crystals, then the next thing was that I wanted to hear certain sounds. I bought a bell, you know, just a metal chime kind of bell. You get into all forms of sound, all kinds of things, you know.
Hmm.
So that seems to change and get more and more intense as you use it. But what I was originally going to say is I am rotten. I'm so used to being totally surrounded by all these things that have a certain type of spiritual energy that they're emitting.
Hmm.
And I hate leaving the space.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everybody teases me about not wanting to leave my home. Well,
Oh,
as soon as I step over the threshold, oh, what's this?
yeah.
I can't help it.
Right. And well, in Japan, they call it forest bathing, where they go out into the forest, into the open forest.
Oh,
And the nature of a forest will give you that same feeling. Why? Well, because there's greenery and there's ancient trees and there's lots of rocks under your feet. It's just it's all because we are so connected, or should be so connected to the earth,
yeah.
you
Well,
know?
it's that resonance. And that word, I guess people are starting to get sick of hearing it because everybody's talking about resonance.
They are.
New thing.
First time I ever heard the word was about the Schumann. Schumann, is that how you
Yes.
say it?
Oh,
Resonance.
gosh. Yes.
So
Human
that's
frequency.
that's the resonance of the earth. So
Yeah.
when we are balanced with the earth, of course we're going to feel better. If we are not balanced with the earth, we feel all wrong.
We can feel that too.
Absolutely, yeah. So yes, my house is feeling like that because I have crystals all around me and some plants
Yes.
too. And I also don't live in a big city, so I'm pretty
Right.
good there. I have 3 trees of my own in my backyard, and so I have it pretty good. I do.
Well, when you start to get away from the center of a particular town or city or whatnot, why is it different? Because there are less things vibrating. You're not hearing a cacophony. You're just kind of making out a couple of real good resonant tones that you can relate to. You're
Mhm.
not conscious of it because you don't hear them,
Right,
but your body does.
right, and
Your
they're right.
chakras hear it.
Right, right. And they're different tones. I mean, city tones are different than nature tones. It just is.
Yes,
And
it
and
is.
there's nothing wrong with either one, but you just need to put your feet on the ground sometimes,
Right. You
right?
have to
On the
find out
ground.
which one is more conducive to supporting who you are.
At any given time, even.
And it changes. It
It,
can change in a season, or it could change in a cycle of your life, a certain duration of time.
yeah,
But you will find that your needs change.
absolutely.
They
Right.
really do.
As you grow, they change. I mean, I'm certainly not the same Kate that I was
Oh,
2 years
God, no.
ago. Not at all.
I'm not. I'm
I'm
not either.
I'm not the little girl that, was born in 44 Pennsylvania anymore.
Right.
She's a part of me and that's a part of my growth, but
And always will be.
eh,
Yeah.
right, but today I'm a much different woman than that little girl.
Well, it's difficult sometimes for your relatives because they've known you the longest and they resent the changes. You're no longer the person they were so familiar with. And so you get some feedback sometimes when you start making the changes, especially depending on whether they're temporary changes or whether they're permanent changes. But
True.
you have to protect the impression that you have the right to do it.
Absolutely.
That's easier said than done, but it's true. It is something you have to be willing to, not literally, but theoretically fight for. You have to make your boundaries known. And that's kind of what manifesting is in a way, because you're pulling in certain parts of a vibration to you and exiting certain others. You're changing the furniture in the room of your persona. Whoever you are, you're tweaking the different parts of it by changing your beliefs, by changing your furnishings, by changing the colors you wear. All of it resonates. Certain colors,
Hmm. The most
certain,
important thing, I think, is the beliefs. Because,
yes,
because all of that other stuff, if you don't believe it, it's beliefs are the most important thing. And yes, and boundaries, you have to set your boundaries or people just walk over you
yeah,
because you let them. And it's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's self-care, it's self-love, and we all need to do that. And here we are, the week between Christmas and New Year's. People are starting to manifest or think about what they want to manifest in the next coming entire year.
yeah.
Let it be taking care of yourself.
Well, think of all those kids that are trying hard to manifest what they want on Christmas Day.
I hope
Boy,
they
are they
got
working on manifesting now, aren't they?
absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Everybody is,
Mhm,
We're
mhm.
just manifesting up some stuff.
Well, here we were just here a short 2 weeks ago, setting our intentions
Yes,
for
yes,
this full moon to, open ourselves up to the completion of this year. This is the last full moon of the year, right?
yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
And I like the fact that it's not split over the line. The year is like a capsule. It ends with this full moon. It was properly a whole entire cycle of new moon, full moon.
Hmm.
And now we're going to go into, you know, the next year. And that's nice because it starts out right and ends on a cycle. The cycles have integrity. And I think that's going to prove to be important. But 2024, everybody agrees it's going to be a doozy. So I
Yeah.
can't wait to see it unfold, find out what's going down, but it's off to a blazing start because there's so many new things coming into my life, and especially from before. There's a lot of kickback to
Hmm.
themes and things and people that I thought I would never see again. And all of that is in a wave form coming back. Issues about my hometown, my home, all kinds of stuff about who I used to be.
Okay.
And it's at a time when it's appropriate because I'm now carving out, a new identity. I'm trying to remember who I was, and now how much of that do I still want to keep, and what do I want to put in place of it? What's on the horizon,
Hmm.
and how will I define a horizon at 77?
Oh
I
my
noticed.
God, are you kidding me? I don't say
Well, I lied. I'm
77.
actually 97, but I wasn't going to tell you. I want to see how long I can get away with it.
We'll still be here when you're that old.
It's funny to me because, there's a commercial that comes on all the time in between. When you're looking at things that have to do with the occult, you get a lot of this Mind Valley kind of commercials that come on.
Yes.
And I look at that and think, I wonder how much of this is just it's people's expectations reaching out to them from the screen. Oh, I should have known about. Oh, I wanted to know about that because he brings up all these things. And the other day, I usually click it off, but I noticed that when it came up this time, it came up with Burt's face on it, and he talked about meeting him and so forth. And the first thing he mentioned was, well, when I met him, he was just learning piano, and he had just learned to play piano, and he was 82 when he started it.
Now, Mickey is talking about Burt Goldman, just for those
Yeah,
that didn't catch that.
yeah. Sorry.
So, Mickey knew Burt when he was just in his 20s, right?
I don't know if he was in his 20s. Now I have to think about that. We're not, he was ahead of me in age.
Hmm.
So
So probably he
he
was in his
must have been,
30s.
I was in my 20s. I was in my late 20s. He must have been about 40.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. That was one very, very good looking man.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was very,
And
very tall and he had a very smooth tongue. He could talk you into any meditation and right out of it.
he absolutely could. And it's so funny because he was one of your first spiritual teachers. He
Yes,
was also one of mine,
right.
done in a very different way. I never met him in person. I bought his CDs. Whereas Mickey, you had him right in the room with you. How
Yeah,
funny.
he led the meditations in person. That was amazing.
Now, for all you out here in Facebook and YouTube land, it's very similar to the meditations that I lead you all in.
It is.
Yeah.
It's almost absolutely. But see, his way became an
Stand
iconic way to do it. When
absolutely.
people realized that it worked so well, so quickly,
Mhm.
then it became, the flagship for everybody who was going to do meditation. It's a very good way to get into it.
Yep.
As we can tell by when you take us and we do the leap out of that door, into the universe.
Quantum
It's
jumping.
some it's some powerful, powerful stuff.
Mhm.
I really didn't believe it. Even though I'd had Bert and he'd led me in all these meditation stuff, he had not invented the quantum jumping yet. So therefore, what he was teaching us was right before that. And once I heard about it, I was kind of like, oh, yeah, yeah, but I can't see where I just leap into the universe and suddenly I can do all this stuff. Well, once I tried it, I was so shocked. I tried it and I was like, what? That was so quick.
Yeah.
It's an amazing way to do it. Now, Jose Silva had indeed said that just do this, 333 222 111, and you're there, and then you count down another 10 just to make sure you're there, and bam, you go off into creating stuff. He had the laboratory. It sounds very pie in the sky until you do it.
Yeah.
And then you scare yourself. You scare the bejeebus out of yourself when you realize, oh
Because it
my
really
God,
works.
I did it. I was gone. You wake up at the end and you can hear the person counting you back. And you remember hearing them counting you in. But how come I didn't hear anything else after that? Because I was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very unusual feeling. Now, we talk about it a lot and we go rah rah sis boom bah, but it's because I'm so anxious for everybody else to really feel how profound the motion of the energy can be. You really do go somewhere.
You
you
really
know,
do. I
you
learned
do.
I learned quantum jumping first. Like that was the
Yeah.
first meditation I learned besides Buddhist meditation. And
Wow.
um and and I just follow Bert. I just did whatever he asked me to do. He would tell a little story, then he would count us down, then we would jump to a doppelganger, and I would envision this. I would join in whatever he was doing, and it
Which
became just normal. So then when I learned about the Seth material, and the person leading that always would say, probable selves are, one of the hardest things for people to get. And I'm like, I do that all the time.
right. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
for me was simple because of the way Bert talked about it, because I was meeting facets of myself. I didn't look
Right.
at them as probable me's. These were physical me's that I could talk to, and they helped me with problems.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was that part of the Seth material wasn't hard at all. So Bert just had a nice way of teaching it. And when, Mickey brought up Mind Valley owns all of those rights,
Yes.
I believe. So
Yes.
if you want to get the original Bert teachings, which I encourage everybody to do,
Yes.
You can get them right from Mind Valley. And I think it's mindvalley.com. I will put links when
I
I
think it
post
is.
this. And there are, Bert always said that the Daisy Pond meditation was always going to be free, always,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
free for people to share. That one is on YouTube. I will also post a link to that so that you can experience, a little bit about what we're talking about. Now, the Daisy Pond one is more of a healing one. You don't really meet a doppelganger. You
Mm-hmm.
go and you experience this pond that has healing waters, and he even lets you fly to mountaintops with snow, and you can play in the snow at the same time. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's amazing.
Well, it's a very essential part of the pathways that Seth is talking about and saying these things are available to you. Well, you can find out so much more about it once you start trying, once you actually embark on experiencing the stuff that he's saying. And it is simple. I keep reiterating that because it really is as simple as go ahead, try it,
Hmm.
you know. And once you have done, you do come back with a different look on your face. Like, oh, I thought it didn't work. Oh, I thought it was bull. Oh dear. Oh, because that realization leads you quickly into some others. Oh, I guess I better tighten up. Ooh, a lot of things are out there to be seen and understood. I wonder how many people realized what they were looking at when I was going through my such and such a phase. When you weren't too nice and you weren't too this, or you were, I mean, I had a couple of phases where I was an absolute idiot. So, you know, I mean, kind hearted, but absolutely not understanding what was going on.
Yeah.
So, you can really turn things around by simply realizing that you have a phone line to the universe, but you've got to pick it up.
Hmm.
And as long as you're willing to do that, there is a voice on the other side saying, "Hi, how can I help you?"
Right. Right.
And then you start to understand that you're talking to your higher you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I
Right.
know that
Or
voice.
or any facet of you that you want
Yes.
to learn from. That's
Yeah.
the key. And we talk all the time about meditate, meditate, meditate. Well, we started calling them journeys here because I try to take you on a path and on a journey.
Right.
But it's time that you guys, we're not gonna do a journey or a meditation today together, because this isn't live. This is pre-recorded. So actually, we're recording it. I'll say it. We're recording it on solstice. So here it is, the
Mm-hmm.
21st. And we just want you guys to do your own meditations, and it could be a minute, it could be a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to that. You can use the 333 222 111. You don't have to. You can do this any way you want. When you're gonna set your crystals out, in the moonlight, have a little ritual where you're holding them and you're placing them, and you go within, and it's a little meditation. You can do something as simple as that, or do a
Yeah.
full blown listen to. There are thousands of meditations on YouTube and on Facebook Reels.
Mm-hmm.
Google anything you want to experience in your meditation, you'll find it. There's drumming meditations, there's guided
Oh, I love those.
I do too. They go very deep. There's or
The second the drums start,
you can
I
listen
am
to
gone.
old ones of the ones that we've done together. Yeah,
Yes.
just pick one and do
And
it. And do it.
do it.
And
Yeah.
do it. Yeah.
It's as simple as simply really looking in the mirror for a few seconds and you will slide away.
Yeah.
If you hold that gaze, you can go off into your own eyes. They are a window to the universe. So if you're looking in a mirror, you're looking at the window you have. You're
Yeah.
looking into your own window, looking through your own windows at the other side When you look out facing in front of you, you see reality as we know it physically. But once you're looking in a mirror into your own eyes, you slip right through that gateway to the rest of the universe. It's
Yeah.
there. It's there.
I
And it's
love it.
really worth the experience of doing it. So,
I
whatever way you choose, like you said, pick one.
pick one and do it. Yes.
Don't make
And
me come in there.
and make it a habit, make it a habit. And the more you do it, the faster you can do it and the easier you
Yes.
can do it. So I
And the more
remember
effective.
it, yes, in the very beginning I used to do 3, 3, 3, and so on and so forth. Now I'm like
Hmm.
3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. And I'm in.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes I don't even have to do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I
It
discovered that if
yes.
I decide that I want to go, I'm already almost there.
Yep.
That just, it's the intention. It's the fact that you expected to go, you knew where you were headed, and you went by just simply saying, make it so.
So what do they say? Energy goes where your thoughts flow?
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly true. That's how it all works.
Yeah, it does.
That's the real bottom line.
Mhm.
That is it. I love it. I love
So
that.
that's how you manifest.
Yes, it is.
You think, you imagine, you place yourself in that final scenario or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is you're trying to manifest. And don't worry about all the little minutia in between,
No,
you know?
you take
Don't
it for
worry about
granted.
it. Take it
You
for
know.
granted and take your cues. And if you want a car, that doesn't mean it's going to manifest itself in your driveway. You probably have to go look at some, test drive some, so take
Yeah,
those
but it
cues
helps to
and
go and
do
buy
it.
a steering wheel cover. Yes, I'm going to have a car, but
Yes,
little things like
that's
that
right.
make a difference. You buy something to put your keys in. You buy your key ring. I
Yep.
mean, those are things that strategically placed along the path to your goal, they help pull it in. They
Mhm.
help because you wouldn't do it if you didn't believe you were going to have it.
Right.
So it helps.
So you
Huh?
talked about crystals in the very beginning.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing when you buy a crystal. When you go to a
right.
store and you're buying a crystal, you're going to say, I need a healing crystal. So what do you pick up? A quartz or an amethyst or a rose quartz or whatever. And in picking that crystal up, you are making that move to the end result that you want, but you're not
Right.
thinking about every little thing in between. You buy the crystal,
No.
you take it home, you keep it with you, and you assume that it is going to come to fruition at the end.
And you
That's
slowly start
manifesting.
to feel it.
So you
Yeah,
do this all the time.
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have to remind ourselves of the magic we're already doing. We're here. We have a home. We have a car. We wear clothes. These are things that weren't there when we were born. We've manifested a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
you know. So we're trying to tighten up the list, folks.
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
But
And, as soon as, well, this is going to be released on the 27th, we just have a few short days to the New Year's.
right,
And
exactly,
that's when everybody is planning for the next year. And then
exactly.
I don't remember the date. I will also put that in the description below, but the date of the new moon then when you
Right.
start planning, so you've got the time from now until then to, allow stuff to come to you that you have already been planning. And now we're going to set the tone for the next coming year.
Oh, it's exciting.
It is. It is. And
It
we
is.
are in Mercury retrograde right now. So
Oh
hopefully
yes.
everything works fine for me, technologically speaking.
Yeah. We'll traipse through that quick enough.
Well, it's recording now, so that's so that's half the
Right.
battle right there.
And
Uh,
it happens 5 or 6 times a year, so it's not something that's unfamiliar. It's just annoying to an
little
extent.
bit,
It's a
yeah.
great time to plan. There are a lot of things you can do that are enhanced by causing yourself to cloister and go within. And that's what's called for at that time. So we get reminded 5 times a year, 6 times a year, wait a minute, stop talking, you know, go inside, make your plans, ignore them. And if you don't ignore them, you start to realize that they're talking crap. That's why that's all like that. No, it helps to make you do what is needed to match the vibrations of what is going on. We're led to resonate in ways that are good and beneficial. We just have to learn to trust it and learn to listen to what we're being led to.
Right.
There are at least, and it has been increasing over the last couple of years, but there are at least 10 times a day that I get a signal of something from the universe saying, do this. No, do it like that. No, but, and I've just learned now to sit back and stop trying to say, well, I'm gonna. No, what's good for me? And then it manifests, it comes out, it works the way it should. Even if I thought something didn't work the way it should, I have to wait, suspend judgment. Don't go and get off. I didn't realize they were going to be so. Don't get into all of that. When the thing doesn't go the way you want, say, oh, I'll just wait, because it will clarify why it was important for it to be that way once you see what else was coming down for you. You know,
Nice.
oh, if that hadn't done that, I wouldn't have gotten that. So don't get all upset when you didn't get the thing the way you thought would. Just wait, give it a moment, give it a beat, and you will understand why the path was laid out the way that it was. And it's such a relief to know. It reminds you constantly that everything has a purpose and a time and a this and a that. There are no coincidences.
Right.
So you
Right.
watch life unfold.
Right. And everything that's happened to each one of us makes us the incredible people that we are today.
That we are. Yes,
Mhm. Yeah.
that's true.
The good and the bad. Oh,
I think it's wonderful.
it's all good, really. It's all good, but at the time we may perceive some of the things as not great. But
It's a heck of a system, though.
it is. It is. And the
Wow.
things that are not great actually makes us strongest.
Yes,
So, so yeah. And I'm in a time in my life now where my life is pretty easy right now.
that's good.
And it is good, and I love to be able to share it and to help people, you know, with the journeys and with the going within and the learning about yourselves. That's the only thing that's important, not learning about anybody else.
But
You
that's
need to
just it. The more
learn
you
about.
learn about yourself, the more you know about everybody else. The more you understand
Yeah,
the rest of humanity
absolutely.
and gain a whole lot of additional respect for all that is in the meantime.
Right, right. And when you're going to be going through life, don't suppress those emotions. Emotions are so
No.
important. The more emotional, the more something hits you as very specifically important, those things are going to be remembered, and those things are what is transmitted back to all that is, so that all
Yes,
learns more and more and more. Look at this thing. I got a rainbow on my
I
neck.
see that. That is so funny on your throat chakra.
And I got one here too. I got here
Yeah,
and here.
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Ah, ha, ha. But that
yeah.
one on your throat chakra, that's amazing.
Talk about communication, right? These are like, really, could we have done this on purpose? There is a rainbow on my throat chakra.
But that's what I mean when I said there are 10 times a day that things like that happen, little synchronicities.
Yes.
It's, I might, for instance, drop something and I go, oh, I dropped it. But it's when I bend down to pick it up or clean it up that I suddenly realized my eye was drawn to something else that I would not have seen had I not been down there on that level.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, here's something I've been looking for a year. that had slipped behind something else, da 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 da, whatever.
Right. So
But there are,
everything's for a purpose.
yes, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just quite amazing.
Yeah.
Um, you just sit back in awe and go, "Oh wow! Oh dear, who'd believe this?"
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And the best thing about life right now is the friendships that we're making. Like the
Yes,
people that are here that watch what we do and that participate with us. You know, you guys are so special to us.
it's a lovely family feeling.
It really is. And
Yeah.
you know, most of you I've only known for, you know, 3, close to 4 short years. And
Hmm.
it's a wonderful family, and I'm so grateful. And I hope that every one of you had a wonderful Christmas 2 days ago.
Yeah. Well, we learned just enough to realize that we were all cray cray. His family is a family full of nuts. We're all learning stuff that most people are not pursuing. So we end up keeping it to ourselves or talking to each other in our little
E-
groups.
Exactly. But we're becoming a little bit bolder now, and
Exactly.
we're doing it for the world. Who Anybody that wants to listen, this stuff is up there forever, right? Once
Yeah,
on
it
the
is.
internet, always on the internet.
Oh, God, yes.
I am so grateful that I have had Mickey this entire year with me.
Oh,
This is,
thank you.
because we started this the first new moon in January of this year. So that was
Right.
our very first one. So we've completed one cycle,
One
and
cycle.
and and we'll be back.
Yes. I
Any
think it's going to be a great year.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're
I
only
think,
getting better and better.
yeah, I think it's going to be a real red letter year, and I'm looking forward to that.
I am
Yeah.
too.
But
And
now,
And,
hmm,
and we talked about last time, switching things to the positive feeling, right? We always want to
yeah.
look at thing in a positive light. Whatever it is, you can turn that around to be a positive statement. Um, yeah, whatever it is.
Well, I had jotted down a couple of little notes
Okay.
of something I wanted to bring up, and excuse me for reading it more or less, but getting the glasses on you. But I have to remember what my thought train was. Um, at the end of the year, I wanted to make sure that there were things I could say to you all. Uh, you can allow social media to help you to begin or speed up your manifestations. On any given day, yep, leave them there. On any given day, you can simply dial up a particular life or vision or a viewpoint or anything or an attitude to illustrate any belief system that you want. That's what I love about social media. Everything's there, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, I'm not only just interested in the good, because there's a purpose for the rest of it, the bad and the ugly, because we're learning from all of it. That's sort of like what All That Is does. We're not all little angels down here. He has allowed there to be a creation that acts like this, and then one that acts the opposite, and one that acts in the middle, because all the viewpoints have merit. You need to know how each part of a vibration is functioning, and we each represent one viewpoint, you know? Um, each day, choose one video for laughs, one video for compassion, one video for encouragement, and lastly, one video for joy. Now, that's a lot easier than you think because now that we have TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube have both jumped on the bandwagon of doing these little 10 and 15 and 30-second reels, they call them, I think.
Yep.
And it runs the gamut. You can see things about little fuzzy little animals and, all about somebody griping about something or whatever. Someone's waxing poetic about something. But what I love about it is you get to pick what you're going to bring into your day. So feed your mind, feed yourself what you wanted to take in and process. Oh, I'm glad I got to see that. Now, when people are being negative, I didn't want to bring that drama into my home to be people that I know and love. So by looking at it on YouTube as a skit, I can come to the conclusions that I would have drawn from seeing it, and I didn't have to bring it into the home. I don't have to deal with it week by week when somebody's still pissed off. We didn't solve it, and now we're still arguing. No, I saw it play out as an idea on a screen. And from that, I could surmise how I felt about it and say, oh, you know what? I really shouldn't think of it that way. I should think more like blah, blah, blah. So, mission accomplished without bringing them in, without having to feed them. So, so you bring in what you need. Um, and then I said, believe it or not, I don't choose only the nice people. Well, I went through that. Um, but I want you to know that there are all kinds of life paths that are explored. And I also do it because I want to remind myself how grateful I am for who I am. I've done a lot of work on me, and I'm glad about that. So I get to remind myself when I see some other things that I don't care that much for, I get to remind myself, aren't you proud of you for doing such and such? Aren't you glad you no longer act like this? You know what I mean? So use these things that are around you. They're not just stuff to be ignored in life. They're there for a reason. And you can use them to feed what your intention is asking you to provide it. The whole purpose is to give your intentional self the tools it needs to work on your beliefs, you know? Um, I think we can all benefit from letting our attention help us to create the path that we're working on. Let's do it. Again, we're doing a commercial for please try it. Get out there and do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, you can do it with bad images, good images, ugly images. One of the reasons crime is so popular on TV is because of the emotions that it evokes.
Yes.
Okay? We're drawn to it. We may not even want to see that somebody's in trouble, but it's like when we're rubbernecking on the highway. Everybody's looking over to see, ooh, are there any bodies? You're going past an accident. Just keep your eyes on the road, you know. But it's that instinct
It is.
that you're being drawn to the situation that vibrates the highest. You see, whether that's good or bad, there's a part of the vibration that shows you the upward part and the part that shows you the part below the line.
Right. And that vibration is emotion.
And both of those are high emotions, those are high vibrations.
Yep.
Whether they're on the upswing or the downswing, it resonates in a certain way. We are trying to learn how to use that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're on about. That's what we keep griping about and what we keep poking you about and everything. And I promise I won't poke as hard in 2024.
If you just do it. Uh,
It's all about fun, folks.
it,
It's all
it
about
is.
joy. It's about laughter. It's about go ahead and act the fool.
Joy and happiness. That's the thing. Do you see this? Look at this. They're all around me
Oh
now.
my
I'm
goodness.
like, really?
Oh dear, look at that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7.
7 chakras. I got 7 orbs around me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That is incredible.
This is a beautiful room I'm in. I have,
Wait until you get to look back at the recording and see how it spread around you in an arc.
I know it's incredible. totally incredible. Anyway, yeah.
Ah,
You
well,
know,
I just,
there's magic all around us. See
of
it,
course it is.
recognize it, use
Don't
it.
just read. It's magic.
Yep.
It worked. You got to do the in and the out. So
Yeah.
that's important. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just want you all to have fun. We want you
We
to
do.
learn, enjoy who you are, and get the most out of this trip.
Yeah. And learn who you are. And in learning who you are, you will fulfill your requirement for why you came here. Right? You
Exactly.
came here to
Exactly. And you can
experience
feel that.
emotion and joy.
You can feel that when it happens. When you are vibrating with you're resonating with the vibrations around you, you can feel the difference.
Hmm.
Everything is humming right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I think we're gonna have to close this. I
Okay.
don't know how long this is gonna be. We'll see. I'll edit it tonight, and we'll get it up on Facebook. But I hope that everybody watching had a wonderful holiday, no matter what you're celebrating, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever holidays, and that we have the very best New Year that we can have. And Mickey and I will see everybody for the new moon in January. So
Yes.
we'll be back in 2024.
Hot dog. That works.
Any last notes, Mickey?
There's a word in the African religion of Yoruba that represents spiritual power at its very highest possibility. And so I want to end my year and my broadcast with Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.
Thank you. See you next year.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.